Hey Ali, thanks for having the conversation about your very recent win.
Thanks for having me, EJ.
You're welcome. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's not been an easy ride. So can you talk a bit about the customer and in which industry they're in?
Okay. So the customer is a plastics manufacturer, and we would call them a discrete manufacturing operations. They have 4 legal entities, six factories, primarily in Saudi Arabia, and they have operations outside of Saudi. And they've been growing recently, and that's where they approached us and SAP to explore the right solution for them.
Okay. Was there a specific reason, because you talk about they're growing, that they were looking for a different solution, so they were at the end of the capabilities of that offering?
So it's interesting, they had just recently gone live with an ERP system that was delayed, and they're like, you know what, we just went live and we're getting used to it, but we're growing at a pace where we have clear problems that journey, or that, let's call it tool or transformation, did not help us achieve. So SAP we worked to demo the solution. We identified their problems. We showed them how we would address these problems with Rise and with SAP products. And that's what drove in the value for them.
Were they then specifically looking for a cloud-based offering, or?
So I'd say that they were on a growth trajectory, and they were buying. They knew they eventually wanted SAP, right? But it was a question of maturity, and they are a sizable company that's pretty diverse, and growing at a fast clip. But they didn't have that level of that confidence in the level of maturity to do that transformation into something like SAP. So they were a bit hesitant till they realized that, they had to take that step.
Were there specific elements in the Rise offering that say, okay, which they ticked off on, say, okay, this is also an additional element which will help us to do that transformation?
So I think one of the key things within Rise, so let's focus on S4. Obviously, you have the capability of S4 and the fact that it's cloud-based and that the footprint is pretty low and best practices. That is something, within S4 that's very important to them. But sort of tangential to that, the fact that we're doing some Signavio with that, sort of a taster, the fact that we're doing some DSN as a taster, that's something that incentivized them to look at Rise as a whole, because it's, we're doing a bit of a taster in some of these solutions that complement their transformation. And they didn't want to have a big bill of material or a list of products, but we were able to articulate some, I would say, some of these solutions that are part of the Rise offering that would help them transform.
Looking forward to many more Rise opportunities.
Absolutely.
Closing together.
Thanks, EJ.
Thanks a lot, man.